So welcome. I'm so glad you guys are here on Earth Day. How cool that Earth Day falls on a new moon in Taurus. That's so awesome. I don't know that it's fallen like that in past years, but maybe I just missed it. I don't know. So I want to welcome all of you here and make sure I've said hello to everyone. I think I have so far, everyone that's joined. So thank you. So if you had an altar, I just said if you had a candle, grab that, anything of the earth that you want to honor. It could be an item of food, it could be a photo, a special rock that you have, anything just to honor Mother Earth, anything that reminds you of the bounty. So if you have that, you want to grab it. Anything special like that. But I'll let you guys get settled and we'll get going. So find a comfortable place to sit. It could be on a block or a prop or a chair if you'd like. And take a few grounding breaths to arrive. Thank you so much, everyone, for gathering tonight. It's so special to be able to honor this amazing day of honoring the earth, honoring a new moon, being in ceremony together. Even though we're quarantined, we can still gather and feel each other. So take some grounding breaths, just feeling the presence of everyone that's here, their spirits. So I wanted to start with a little astrological backdrop of kind of what's happening and maybe perhaps what this new moon might invite us to kind of ponder. So not only is it Earth Day, right, where we celebrate the earth and the bounty of the earth and taking care of earth and our responsibility to honor her by what we do, to give thanks to all the gifts of the earth through her beauty, through the benefits that we receive, through what we eat, drink. But it also is cool that it's a new moon in Taurus, because Taurus is the sign of the earth. It's the feminine. So it's all about the garden, right? All about the sensual delights. So all about the five senses of really how we embody physical presence. And it's different that we came out of Aries energy, which is all about the masculine, which is about doing, creation, actions, right? It's that fiery energy that thrusts us into spring. And I think this Aries season was quite unique in that we really got a lot of healing energy coming through. And a lot of this healing, I feel, is about how we create, right? And that there's this need for us to find more balance in this creative process, right? Because how our culture has been embodying the creative process is that we always was like, we need more, we need more. It's like, and it's part of how we're seeing Mother Earth, right? We exploit, we take more than we need. And if you think about this, a lot of it comes from this belief maybe that we can't fully experience what we have, right? And so if we can't fully experience and be present with what we have, then we tend to always need more, right? We're always looking for something else because we're not able to fully open to what we have. And part of that is our collective wounding that we're experiencing. Also, this tendency for us to move really fast, right? To go from one thing to another. And if you think about our lives pre-COVID, how busy our lives are, even those of us that are trying consciously to slow our lives down. A lot of us live just in a culture that's very busy. I mean, we hardly ever get to enjoy this creative process, right? And our place of belonging in each moment, like really being able to show up for the moment and our place within the moment, because it's just like the means to an end, right? It's the next thing to the next thing. And so I believe that this time is one in which we're healing this creative process that is not only our actions, right? Not only what we do and what we create, but also being able to receive, being able to be enough in our presence, being able to be supported by the earth and the universe, right, in what we want. And Venus is the perfect planet for that kind of remembrance, because Venus is all about our receptivity. It's all about the feminine, right? And the feminine and the masculine both need each other, right? If we just have the masculine, then we're out doing exactly what I was talking about. We're moving fast. We're doing. We're moving fast. We're moving from one thing to the other. And then the feminine comes in and reminds us that we have to have presence in anything we create, right? That part of the gift of creation is receiving it, is experiencing it, is being met with our desire and seeing that the universe helps us, right? That nature wants us to receive what it is that we want. And so there's a lot of opportunity for us to heal that relationship. And for me, it's a relearning about this, and it's a remembering that, oh yeah, like I need to remember about my worthiness, because for me, it's all about our worthiness as to why we do that, why we can't be in the moment, why we can't be present, and this connection and disconnection possibly to pleasure. And I believe this month that we're invited to really re-explore our relationship to pleasure, because for me, pleasure is a remembrance of our worthiness. If we're able to enjoy something, to take pleasure in what we feed ourselves and what we look at, and what we hear and what we touch and what we taste, right? If we're able to really find pleasure in that, then we're remembering what we come from. We're remembering that we're part of the earth, that what the earth is what is mirrored inside us, right? And so we remember our worthiness, we remember our place and our belonging. And I think that's really an essential thing for us collectively to remember. And so when we align with nature, right, when we align with being outside and looking at Mother Earth, we align to what's natural within us. And when we're natural within us, we know that we're enough. We remember that we don't have to always be doing. We can also be receiving. We can be in presence with things that are beautiful and remember that we too are beautiful. And that we can look at something beautiful and realize that there is that within us. And so it's a really beautiful gift to enjoy pleasure, and something that I feel like culturally, and I know in my own life, has been something hard to practice. And so I believe that this month, this is the perfect time to embody pleasure. Pleasure being physical, pleasure in the five senses, pleasure in experience, and pleasure in your own presence, and the presence of each moment. And so I really feel that that is something that we can work with this month, is how can you make a daily ritual of pleasure, of feeding the senses, of taking something beautiful and staring at it and letting that be medicine for your eyes, healing anything in yourself that you look at with a sense of imperfection or separation, right? That we could hear something beautiful and go, oh yeah, like I can hear that beauty and remember that my words and what I put in my ears, right, needs to be that which I can hear the beauty. So I just want that to be kind of a backdrop for us tonight, is that this is a month of receiving, of slowing down, of simplifying, right? Because sometimes when we simplify, remember what's most important in our presence, right? What we eat, how we rest, how we move, all those things are so quite essential. And if we're moving too fast to embody and to have full presence and gratitude and ability to connect to those things, then everything else is just more, right? It's just that unnecessary stuff that when all of it gets stripped away, we're left with those same things, our community, right, our family, those very essential things. So this is a time to stabilize our routines and our rituals so that we have things within those rituals and routines that keep us feeling grounded and connected to the earth, to ourselves, to our natural rhythms that keep us natural with who we are and natural in remembering that we're enough. So just take that in, whatever that I've said, maybe that helps you remember your worth. I hope tonight you just walk away knowing that you're worthy, that you are enough, and that you can give yourself permission this month to take pleasure in the simplest of things. So let's just take a few breaths together and try to open to that. If that seems foreign to you, that's okay. And if that seems like something you've been working on anyway, then great. Opening into pleasure, letting pleasure be a salve, a healing elixir, remembering who we are, what we come from. So tonight, friends, we're going to practice. We're going to do some movement. And I feel like the movement tonight is going to help us release some of these old patterns that we have where we don't feel like we can enjoy pleasure unless we worked hard, or if we are perfect, or we've set up the perfect situation, right? That we can enjoy pleasure even if we have a long to-do list to do. That we can enjoy pleasure even if we feel like, you know, like we feel really unworthy that day or feel really down on ourselves, that we can still delight in pleasure. So I think we're going to be releasing some of that old energy and then opening to this new reprogramming that the earth's trying to give us, and this healing of those things, right? So I think that's what's going to come through as we practice. That's when I meditated, that came through as to how we would move. So let's start that. So you won't need much tonight. If you do have a block, great, but you don't have to have one. We're going to start kneeling. So we're going to tuck our toes under. Strengthen our thighs. So Taurus rules the neck, so we will be doing some yummy stuff for the neck, but again, we want to feel that earth grounded energy. So I'm gonna let you place your hands on your heart, your waist, your heart, anywhere, and we're just gonna rock back and feel the strength of our legs and core, and then come back. So just kind of rocking back. You can go just a tiny bit back and a tiny bit forward, or you can go way back so you can really feel those leg muscles strengthen. And I'm staying pretty long through my spine. Just breathing, connecting into your roots. Feeling that strengthening. And then as you are ready, we're gonna step our right leg forward and come to like a pretty easy lunge. So you'll notice like my knee and my ankle are together. And as I take a deep breath, I'm gonna reach up to my arms and feel a long spine. If I want to, I can lift the back knee and inhale, and then I can exhale, take the arms down. And then I can inhale, lift. So you might wanna lift your knee up and down, or you can just stay grounded and move your arms. Inhaling, lift. Exhaling, lower. And again, just connecting into the strength of your legs. I want you to really connect to your feet, to the leg muscles. And then one more time. Now we're gonna form a warrior two pose, but we're gonna stay on our knee. So I'm gonna kind of tuck so that the back toes tuck under and my knee and foot are in alignment. And I'm gonna reach those arms out and about. So I'm gonna turn and face you again. And I'm just gonna inhale, stretch those arms up again, and then exhale, maybe it's a little deeper lunge forward. And then inhaling to lift. Exhaling, lunging forward. Inhaling, exhaling. You can do any hand movements that feel good. So if you'd rather have your hands doing something else, of course, honor that. Breathing in, breathing out. And then one more time, just landing in a warrior two on your knee. Connecting into your feet, so those back toes tucked under, feeling heel and ball end of your front foot. Take another deep breath. Then as you're ready, we're going to turn towards the mat, and we're going to step forward. And then arms out to the side, stand all the way up in mountain pose. So then you can allow your arms to reach down. And just kind of bending the knees so you can feel, again, weighted through your legs, and then arms reaching up. And your hands can come through your heart, bending the legs. So again, feeling strong through the legs. Reach up. Just follow your breath. And again, syncing up the hands doesn't really matter. And then one more time, reaching up to hold. And then exhaling forward fold. Step on back to plank pose, or you can always come to all fours if you're wanting to tone down the practice tonight. Taking a deep breath in, and as you exhaling, coming back to downward facing dog. And a few deep breaths here. And then letting the knees settle down. Then once again, climbing up to the knees, tucking your toes under, and just about 5 times we're rocking back and rocking forward. Trying to stay in that nice long line from the crown of the head down through the knees. Waking up the leg muscles again. And then when you're ready, stepping the left leg forward. So pretty easy lunge. First, just lifting the arms up, and again, feeling really rooted. So connecting to your front foot, the back toes tucked under. Then if it feels right to you, you can lift that knee up, and then releasing the arms as you come down. Lifting up, releasing the arms as you come down. Going nice and slow, right? With Taurus energy, we really want to move slow so that, again, we can enjoy this process of creating movement. So we can take in everything that's available to us. So the connection of our feet, the way the mat feels on our feet, the way the temperature of the room feels. Take another deep breath. And then all the way down. we're gonna open up to warrior two. So again, I'm just gonna pivot my back foot. So my back foot and back knee are tucked under in one line, then my arms come out. Once again, I'm just gonna turn to face you. And here we're just, again, moving the arms, inhaling, and then exhaling, that knee comes straight forward. Just rocking. Yeah. And then one more time, just holding into that warrior two. So you could look forward, you could look to the side. Take in the experience. Try to wake up a new sense when you're in these shapes. Maybe it's your sense of smell. Maybe it's hearing. Maybe it's hearing your breath. Maybe it's the way the mat feels. And as you're ready, hands come forward. Step forward. Hands to your waist, long spine, come all the way up to standing. Then again, weighting the legs so that we can feel really rooted and weighted. Pushing feet down and apart as our arms lift up. Exhaling, weighting through the legs, arms down. And then exhaling. So again, moving at whatever pace is natural to you. So that might take you more time because you really want to take in maybe that new sense that you're adding to your practice. Or maybe it's just really connecting to your feet one more time. And then exhaling, forward fold. Either all fours, cat-cow, or you can come into plank pose. You can feel in the length of your spine, and then downward facing dog. Just feeling what it was like to open up the front of the body. Then we're going to step the right leg forward. And we're going to open up the side body. So as we come into a lunge, we're going to lift that left arm up, grabbing onto the wrist. We're going to get a little bit more height and then lean over to the right, letting your head fall in your bicep. So feeling your neck supported. As you breathe and open through the left side seam of your body. And if you want to move a little bit with the hips, feel free, or maybe it's just kind of that pulsation of the breath to re-lengthen the left side and then relax it down a bit. And then one more time. We're going to open back up to that warrior two. So once again, I'm going to turn to face you so that you're not getting the back side of me. And then either hand to the hip to reverse your warrior or hand to the floor to go a little deeper. If you had a block, you could actually go ahead and use the block for your hand. So really letting that right thigh release forward as you lengthen up and away. Take another deep breath. And then as you're ready, you're going to come up and either hand to the thigh, left arm over your head, or straight up, or hand down your thigh, grabbing onto the ankle. So another way to kind of re-weight that right leg. Lengthening to the sides, and your arm could go over your head if that would feel good. Connect to your roots, your feet, your legs. And as you're ready, we're going to come up and then we're going to face towards the front of our mat, so our original front. So I'm going to turn and then come down to a low lunge. So I might walk my foot wider so my entire heel and ball mat are on the floor. If you can come to your forearms, great. If not, stay on your handprints. If I can get my left forearm to the floor, then I'll take it there and the right arm will reach out and away. And I'll just let my head drape. And I'll take 5 deep breaths of really surrendering and letting go. Really trying to feel the earth kind of holding me up so that I can just surrender a bit. So let go of some of the efforting. Really feel myself being held. And then one more deep breath. And as you're ready, we're going to come back onto our palm prints. Come down to your hands and knees, and either if you'd like a modified side plank, turn and kind of press your, take your right foot out, left leg straightens, and we can come to a modified side plank, or if you'd like to balance on your feet, go ahead and come to a full side plank. Again, just stretching through that side body. And remember, this is supposed to be kind of pleasureful. So if that means for you kind of taking the knee down, go ahead. And then as you're ready, both knees to the mat. This time it's a child's pose. Walking your hands over to the right to open up that left side seam again. Letting the head go. Maybe the head can even rest on the right bicep again. And then another couple breaths, get heavy. And then as you're ready, friends, coming back up to that kneeling position. We're going to stay on the right side. Step your right leg forward, and again, a nice kind of grounded position. And we're going to up and open up to a twist to the right. I'm going to turn around. So in this first twist, allowing yourself to settle in. Again, I'm going to give you this chance to, if you want to, coming up, and then opening up to a twist. And you'll come down, and you can kind of flow in and out of the twist. So kind of decide if you want to hold a static twist or if this movement feels good. Yeah. So when you're feeling ready, we're going to hold this next twist for a couple moments. So staying again in a pretty easy lunge twist. Letting the chest broaden, those arms kind of reaching out the heart space. And then take it down to the floor. So left arm down, and then right arm continues up. You can look towards your left hand. So kind of gazing at the earth while your right arm expands away. So again, rooting through front leg, rooting through back toes. Allowing that twist and turn to kind of stoke those digestive fires that assimilate new information, that release what's no longer needed. Then as you're ready, both hands down to the floor. Tuck the left knee behind your right foot and take a seat. If you'd like to straighten your left leg, if that's better for your body, please do that. And we're going to take our final twist to this side by grabbing onto the outer thigh and then lifting up and twisting. Here's some options. I can draw the chin in my chest. I can do a neck release here. So left ear, left shoulder. I can do a neck stretch by looking over my front shoulder. So we're going to hold here a little bit longer. So maybe closing your eyes and allowing yourself to just, as gently as you can, letting go. So part of this releasing of the old programs, we don't even really have to even know, right? If we just allow, like, nature, the energy of the times, right? The way that the world is kind of showing up and that we're meeting the world, like, it happens. So not too vigorous of a twist, just letting our body naturally do what it knows how to do. Digest, assimilate, release. Okay, one more breath. As you're ready, you can use your hands to do this, or if you want to kind of work on your leg strength, you can press into that right foot, come all the way up to standing. So however you need to get there. We're going to go to Goha hidden pose. So rub your hands together. Then let the heel of the hands meet your eye sockets and come down and curl. So I really want you to curl in. So feel the abdominal organs. And contracting here, but feel supported by your legs. So letting those elbows kind of press into the thighs so you can sit back and feel like the squat's not quite as intense. And breathing in and breathing out. Letting your legs hold you up and support you. Letting our eyes kind of soften back away from our hands. Trusting in the unseen forces. Even the fact that our body is taking care of us in ways that we don't see or quite understand all the time. And then as you're ready, hands are going to release to the earth and you'll take a forward fold. So if you need to bend your knees or widen your stance, please do. Feel free to grab onto your head and kind of add an extra weight here. So again, really letting your upper half drape.
And be supported by the lower half, by your mat, by the earth below you. And then hands to the earth. You're going to come onto your shins.
So I'm going to make a fist. And if you've just eaten, then you may not make too tight of a fist. And we're just going to fold over our fist for a little bit of myofascial release for the abdominals. And just kind of rest your head on the earth. Kind of as you're breathing, you're kind of feeling, as you exhale, that there's more space for that fist to come up into your kind of soft belly region. And as you inhale, a little pressing away of your hands. Okay, one more breath. And then slowly coming up. Taking a moment to just take a couple cleansing breaths. Just noticing the effects of that. We're going to start the second side. So as you're ready, we're going to step forward with the left leg. And then we'll take the right arm up. And then grabbing onto that right wrist, we're going to take a side body stretch. So if I can, I'll let my head be held by my biceps. So again, the neck gets to be easy. So although we can open through that right side seam, I'm not feeling myself too kind of vigorous in the upper half. And one more breath. And then slowly coming up. So coming back to that warrior two. So again, I could place my hand at my hip and I could tip up and back. So this would be a great way if I don't feel like I want to touch the earth here, if that feels too deep. Otherwise, hands to the block or a floor, and you're reaching your left side waist away from your left hip crease. So I'm going to let myself really stretch apart, opening up that left side seam. And I can look down, relax my head. And then as I'm ready, I'm going to come up. And now either have hand to thigh or hand to the earth, holding on to my ankle, again, giving a little bit of extra support to my front leg. If the hand wants to come up, that's totally fine, friends. And go ahead and look towards your foot. And once again, feeling those roots anchor you in, feeling stronger. And then hands come down, and I'm going to kind of wiggle my feet apart so I can come into that low lunge. So again, I can stay on my hands if that feels better for me, or I'm going to take my right forearm and I'll reach up my left arm. So again, I'm getting that same side body stretch. And this is where I really want you to see if you can just surrender. So if this is too intense, then just come up and let that arm drape. So not trying to kind of work hard to relax, like trying to just let it be effortless. Kind of reprogramming our bodies to know what effortless feels like. And then as you're ready, we're going to climb back in to all fours. So again, you could take the more modified approach by kickstanding your left toe, straightening your right leg out, and it could be a side plank like so, maybe arm overhead to get an extra stretch. Or if you're feeling a little bit more invigorated, then maybe you'll come into that full side plank, just for a moment. And then as you're ready, hands come back down. We're back to all fours again. So we're going to step that left leg forward. And then we're going to open arm twist to the left. So you could choose again to stay static in your lunge. I'm just going to move again. Or if you liked that kind of moving flow, we can come up and then we can open arm twist as we settle down. So try to ground yourself when you twist though. So that, again, you can feel that anchoring and support. Feel free as you twist to breathe out through your mouth, to really dissipate. Yeah. And then settle into your twist. Letting those shoulders relax. Again, find those legs, those strengthening structures, those new stabilizing structures. And then as you take another deep breath, we're just going to take the twist down to the earth. So you could make this a deeper lunge, or you could just keep it pretty simple. And then again, look down at your right palm. Yeah, just really let go of some steam. Let it feel good, friends. And then when you're ready, the hands come down to the earth and our right knee comes behind our left ankle. Remember, straightening the right leg is an option here. And then taking that twist to hold a little longer. Yeah. So remember, we could do a neck release, so right ear, right shoulder. I could look over my right shoulder. I could let my chin draw down. So trying again to make this twist kind of more of an energetic twist, more than an action, kind of pulling, trying to get as deep as we can. Just more kind of trusting that just that intention to twist can be met with our body's synergy. Yeah. Take a couple more really long, luxurious breaths. Then as you're ready, slowly coming up, and again, rooting through the left foot, the hands can support kind of coming up to like a kneeling position before you stand all the way. All right, so no more forward folding. Now we're gonna kind of open up through the chest. So first let's do a little breath work. I'm just gonna face you so you can see. So the arms are gonna reach up and then we're gonna exhale. Open that chest. Let the chest kind of lift up out of the sternum. Inhale, arms reach, and then exhale, tipping up and back. Two more. Nice, and then taking those hands behind your waist. So you can either hold fingers forward, thumbs back, just to open, or you can have the hands at the kind of the back hip pocket. Placing the shoulders on your back, broadening across the collarbones. This could be it. Or if you want to kind of reach up and back a bit, you can just take a kind of a light cobra. Take another deep breath. And as the arms reach up, lengthen your spine, and then exhaling, forward fold. Come back to the kneeling position on your shins. I'm going to face you, but you can face wherever is good for you. Couple options here. One of them is to, again, just have the hands at the waist and to stay grounded, open the chest. Second option is to reach the hands back. You can lift the hips up, so kind of a thigh stretch, chest opener. And if you would like to come into camel and you feel kind of warm enough, you could grab onto the feet. You just come back, reach for them, kind of whatever you feel like doing tonight. But again, it's not really about the efforts. I really want you to kind of key into your intention, just to kind of open that heart to receive. So however light or intentional you want to be with that. And for 3 more breaths, really try to drink in. And then slowly coming down and just kind of sitting on your feet, on the heels of your... Nice. So I want you to choose either right and the left side if your pose has 2 sides, and if it doesn't, then you'll get to stay longer. But hopefully all of you have done enough yoga that you have an idea of a favorite pose, but I want you to choose a pose that really lets your body feel good. So choose that pose, and I'm going to give you some time for a right and a left, so I'll tell you when to switch sides. If you don't know a pose, maybe there was one that we did tonight that you enjoyed. I can show you another one. So I'm going to go on my back. So really simple, a figure 4 to open up through the hips. So that could be your pose. I know you guys have lots of other shapes that you might like. Feel free to unmute yourself if you have a part of your body that you want to work with that maybe you don't know the shape. So as you're in this shape that you've chosen, I really want to encourage you to, as much as you can, really take in the sensory experience of it. So in doing a shape that feels good for your body, like what do you hear? What do you taste? What do you see? What do you feel? What's the overall experience of the enjoyment of it? Really let the whole entirety of you, all of your presence, be in this shape. Even if it's just pockets of presence, right? And then the mind goes and does what it does, but seeing as much as you can to focus all of you into the shape. Training ourselves how to choose things that feel good. And noting our experience of it. Sometimes we don't even know what feels good. And so we have to kind of work with our bodies to reestablish our bodies showing us what pleasure feels like. How we can choose movements and shapes that feel good for us. So if your shape has a second side, you can take your time in coming into your second side. You can also choose a different pose altogether and just decide you're not going to do it on the second side too. That can be a way you embody your own creative pleasure, that not everything has to be balanced and look alike. Okay, friends, take your last really nice, long, deep breaths, all of your awareness immersed in this shape that you've chosen. Hearing your breath. And then uncrossing. So an inversion of your choice, so it could be simple bridge, just lifting your hips. Some of you might want a headstand or anything else. You could even do a wide leg forward fold. So again, choosing something that feels nourishing for you. We're going to take 10 breaths here. And again, just letting the head go below the hips and the heart. Allowing this to flip our perspective, be open to new. Reorient our way of perceiving. And as you're finishing your inversion, take your time. So there's no rush to get out. Depending on what you've chosen, sometimes getting out, you need kind of a shape in between, coming back to a seat. So I'm going to sit cross-legged, and you're welcome to sit however you like when you do come up. So before we get into some neck stretching, I want to kind of almost like you're putting shampoo in your head, kind of massage either quickly or slowly, kind of really open up all through the head. So kind of the back of the neck, the side. And I do it fast because I want to kind of really invigorate, right? Open. But if it feels more luxurious for you, like you're getting your haircut. Remember when we used to be able to get our haircuts? And they would wash your hair and it always feels so amazing. And they give you that scalp massage. So again, whatever feels good for you. Just give yourself a little scalp massage and making sure you get all the spaces, right? Front of the brain, side. And then take a moment just to feel that. Like even just that simple practice of touching our head and our neck. And then we'll drop the left ear to the left shoulder, broadening through the collarbones. If you want to add a little extra weight, feel free. If that's too much, then you can just let it go. Soften your jaw and unhinge your jaw. Once again, broaden through those collarbones. Feel your sitting bones beneath you, kind of anchoring you in so you can just... Sometimes taking that right arm out and away can again add a little bit more of that kind of letting go. You could dial your chin up and down. And then use your left hand to lift your head up. And you're going to take your right hand, go around your ear, massaging down your neck. And then you're going to take your left hand, or your left hand, and go out the outer seam of your arm and out through your ring finger. And just keep using your left hand to go, almost like you're putting the hair behind your head, go down your neck, trace the outer border of your arm out through your ring finger. One more time. Yeah. And then we'll go second side, right ear, right shoulder. Deciding if adding the hand accentuates. Taking the left arm out and away if you feel good. Unhinging your jaw, maybe movement. This is a great month to work on neck releases, neck stretches. Because Taurus rules the neck. And I also noticed that in noticing things that trigger my neck. So that could be signs of overcomplication or things that are a pain in our neck and too much, right? Because this is the month for pleasure, simplicity, slowness. So sometimes our body is helping us, right? Eliminate things we don't need. Right hand helps the head lift. We're going to use the opposite arm, so right hand, go around your ear, trace down your neck, outer border of your arm, out through your ring finger. 2 more times. So this is a really calming, energetic practice if you feel kind of amped or stressed or worried. 1 more. Yeah, good. And then just sitting up tall. Taking in your practice. So I'm going to move closer to my altar, just kind of over a bit. And if your altar is somewhere else and you want to sit closer to it, feel free. If you don't have an altar, it's okay, friends. We're going to do a little ceremony now, kind of to integrate the rest of this kind of energy. We started with the earth energy of moving it through our body physically, and so now I want us to kind of experience it more elementally, right? We worked with that last month. We worked with the 4 elements, and I always love to work with the elements. So I wanted to kind of give us gifts of each element, right? Because the earth is full of the elements. So the gift of water, right? I want to work with the water elemental. So I'm going to give you guys a pretend spritz of moon magic, which is one of my aromatherapy blends. And I just want you to imagine that you could feel this vibration, because I'm gonna intend that you could feel this vibration of healing energy. This spray has violet and jasmine, which are good feminine energies to kind of allow us to feel receptive and creative in our beingness, right? Of kind of drinking in love and abundance. So just kind of feel that energetically, whether you can smell it or not. And then I have some flower essences that I put in a bowl here, and I'm going to energetically kind of send these to you. One of them is green bog orchid, which is one of like aligning with Mother, almost like the heartbeat of Mother Earth. And then I sent you an essence that helps with balancing the masculine and the feminine. And then a fun essence I like to work with, which is fairy communication. So opening up to those earth fairies, kind of like letting us play again, like letting us go out in the grass with barefoot and kind of playing around, right? Going for walks, playing in a garden, all that good carefree energy. So sending that to you. If you were to have a glass of water, and you can do this after our ceremony, but taking a glass of water and asking the water to bless you, to rejuvenate you, to replenish you. And you can do that every day this month as part of a practice, like a ritual of every time you drink water, giving thanks for water, asking the water to replenish, rejuvenate, restore, bring you back to balance, right? Rehydrate you. Water is a yin element, so it's good for us to remember to receive, to take in, right? So if you have water around you, maybe a water bottle, let's ceremonial, grab a sip and take it. Tea works too. It can even be a ritual this month of drinking tea, of like really taking in the taste of the tea and letting it be a restorative, rejuvenative process, right? I know in my house, we love to drink tea at night. That's one of our rituals, is like sit around and talk together and have tea. And so again, tea can be that really rejuvenative practice. So if you don't have water right now, then maybe after our ceremony, you can do that practice for honoring water, the element of water in our ceremony tonight. Now, the element of fire is often associated with like spiritual practice or faith or kind of an energetic, something that we do. And so the ritual tonight that I wanted to do was to feed the five senses. And this is something that I'll kind of maybe inspire you to maybe do. This is something that I'm going to do this next month for the whole lunar cycle, is every day I'm going to pick one of the senses. If it's a great day, maybe I'll pick all five. And I'm going to feed that sense. So whether it's the sense of sight, touch, sound, but feed it and let that be a ritual or a practice that you do. So maybe it's 1 minute, maybe it's 5 minutes, maybe you have 30 minutes. And so I have some special little things for us to do to feed those senses. So the first one was the sense of touch. And so we did some neck releases and we did some physical touch of our body. So we started with that. And that could be, again, another ritual that you can do is self-massage. Because we can't get massages from our lovely healers right now. It can even be a foot massage at the end of the day, right? But touching your body with intention of healing, of touch being therapeutic, and especially with our intention, it's very powerful. So we're not going to redo that one unless you want, but you can definitely revisit that while we're doing another sense. The next one we're going to do is the sense of sight. And so my lovely friend Chad, who's an amazing, talented photographer, took this picture. And so I want to give you something to just meditate and look at for a moment. So Tam's going to help me share his screen. Hopefully this works. If not, I'll try it. So he took this picture. Chad, are you on? He said he was going to call in. If you want to unmute yourself. Maybe he's not. Okay. Well, maybe he's not. So just take a moment to get close to this picture if you can, and just take it in. Like really take in the vibration of this picture. Noticing how it affects your body, how it affects your mind, your emotions. Noticing colors. Noticing how it affects your heart. I think Rumi says, awe is the salve that heals the eyes. And there's so many things right now in nature that we can feast our eyes on and allow it to heal our eyes so that our eyes are able to see beauty and wholeness and abundance. And so a practice this month could be to look for those things in nature, in yourself, and others that are beautiful. To take it in. Again, this is our medicine, is to heal ourselves with pleasure. So making sure that you can feed your eyes beautiful things to look at, to gaze upon. Study a flower. Take about 5 more breaths to just take that in. Thank you, Chad. So you might have something on your altar even that's something beautiful that you could do as a practice. The next sense that I want to feed is the sense of sound. So my friend Christy introduced me to a man named Joshua Stoddard, and he does sound healing events in the city. He's local and in Portland, and he has a wonderful website that lets you stream his music. You can also support him by buying his music. He's also on Spotify. And so if you looked in the chat, Cam put in there how to stream this one song that I can't play it because then my volume goes out. But if you guys could play it for yourself, it's song number 3 on his Melt. It's called Melt. Is that right, Cam? It's called Melt. Think so. So if you have that, go ahead and push play. It's about 3 minutes. If you don't have that, but you have something else that is a beautiful music that you can play, go ahead and play it and just take in the sounds. Maybe you lay on your back, maybe you sit quietly and just take that in. I'm gonna play it so I can hear it too, so I know when it's over. I'm gonna look at the chat real quick. Okay, it's in there. Okay. Okay. Just tell me that. You can, if you can. It might interfere though with what they have. They might be playing it for themselves. Is there anyone that can't hear it? Hopefully if I can. Okay. So hopefully you guys were able to hear that. That whole album is lovely. So I encourage you this month to put into your ears things that sound pleasurable, that how healing it can be just to listen to things that calm us down or that nourish us, or maybe dancing music, right? If we want to feel uplifted. So yeah, feeding ourselves pleasure through our ears. So the taste one, I've not figured out a way to do this virtually. So I want you to promise me that each one of you will take something after our ceremony that you can eat pleasurably. I actually just finished reading this book. I think it's called Women Food and Happiness. I'm not sure that I'm quoting that right, but it was a book about really the pleasure of eating and how we've lost connection sometimes to the pleasure of eating, and which is how sometimes our eating gets kind of jumbled up into shame and all kinds of funny things. It's a really lovely book, but what I loved about it was that it kind of reminded me of taking pleasure in the food that I eat. That it wasn't so much to feel guilty about what I'm eating, but if I actually enjoy the food I'm eating, like maybe it would make me make different choices, right? Maybe it would allow me to feel like I have enough of what I'm eating. So I really encourage us all to maybe as we feed ourselves pleasure through what we eat, if you're gonna pick something to put in your mouth, like enjoy it, right? Like if you're gonna have a cookie, like freaking enjoy that thing. Really taste how it melts in your mouth and all the different seasonings that you can taste. So promise me that after the ceremony you will pick something. I know a lot of you have heard me talk about this, but I love so much the farmers market this time of year, just like the bounty of how fresh and vibrant and alive the food tastes. So I highly encourage, again, eating something from Mother Earth as often as you can. So you have to trust me on that one. And then smell. I asked for your altar if you had something, aromatherapy, but aromatherapy can be a really great way to feed yourself. So choosing scents that really delight you, that make you feel good, that maybe that ground you or reset you. So I'm going to give you guys, again, another spray. I'm going to choose Forest Walk because that was a good one for this month. And if you have one at home, or you can light a candle or something and take in scent, go ahead and do that. And I'm going to just pretend that I can send you scent vibration over the airwaves. I wish I could, but I know some of you have some of my things. I know some of you have some of your own things, so take that in. And again, it's like, how do we really like, and that's part of why I love to make aromatherapy, is because it like snaps us into this experience, right? Of like closing our eyes and just taking in that can be medicine, like smelling something that makes us feel something, or that can calm us or invigorate us or touch our heart, right? That's such a healing practice. So use smell for intention. So put some scent in your bath, or put it, light a candle and take in that scent, and every time you smell it, just reminding yourself, this is pleasure, like I'm worthy of pleasure. I can receive this as a gift that I can smell. So take that in. So that was the gift of fire for us in our ritual, is to feed your senses. So that's our practice for this whole lunar cycle. So we have 28 days to feed our senses. So whether you feed all 5 every day, or you choose 1 every day to make that a ritual and a practice that you return to, it's this practice and ritual pleasure. So the element of air wanted first for me to read a poem, and then second for us to state our gratitude for Mother Earth and to breathe that in and to take that in as a pleasure. So I'm going to read, this is by John O'Donohue, and it's called For Presence. Awaken to the mystery of being here and enter the quiet immensity of your own presence. Have joy and peace in the temple of your senses. Receive encouragement when new frontiers beckon. Respond to the call of your gift and the courage to follow its path. Let the flame of anger free you of all falsity. May warmth of heart keep your presence aflame. May anxiety never linger about you. May your outer dignity mirror an inner dignity of soul. Take time to celebrate the quiet miracles that seek no attention. Be consoled in the secret symmetry of your soul. May you experience each day as a sacred gift woven around the heart of wonder. So I know for me, because this weekend, as we come into the weekend, the moon is in Gemini, and it's a great time to feed our minds, right? Material that inspires us, that allows us to find peace within ourselves and peace within our environments. So for our gratitude practice, I would love it if you guys would, one by one, unmute yourself and maybe say something you're grateful for Mother Earth, or something in your life recently that you just want to celebrate. I think that's what's so cool, is that, although we can't be together in person, like it's so cool that new people like I get to meet new people, and that being able to offer classes has allowed me to reconnect to people that I haven't gotten to reconnect to in a long time, and meet new people. And that to me is such a gift, because my dream has been to create a community of people that support each other and are able to be real with life and meet it and work with it and show up together and learn together. And I love that this time has afforded me that. In the time, I think everything you guys are saying, I think I echo that. It's this time has been a gift for us, and I so myself hope that I don't forget what's been revealed through this time, the things that I treasure, the things that are so dear to me, the things that I didn't give myself permission, right, to have as full of presence in my life before this, and that now that it's a part of my life, it's like I don't want it to go away. And so I hope that we'll all give ourselves that permission to say, like, we need to recreate our lives in ways that we can keep in touch with these beautiful things that are happening. So thank you for voicing those wonderful things that are happening in your life. And so I honor that you guys would share. I don't hope I didn't miss anyone, right? Okay, good. Well, let's take a couple breaths to close our ceremony and to bring all this in. So I want you to take a couple breaths to breathe in all that gratitude. It was such a wonderful feeling to hear from all of you. So breathe that in. And as you breathe out, just like send that out into the world. We need something to counteract the fear, all the instability, all the worry. Like, let's send that out with gratitude, that may we all, no matter what we're facing, no matter if it is unstable and frightening, that we feel that sense of gratitude and awe, and that we can again reground into rituals, stability practices, structures of support that nourish us and that will support us. Yeah. So I wanted to draw a card, and so if you would like to voice a question for the new moon, and so again, just against anything at all that you want to ask the new moon or that you want to work with this month, because again, lunar cycle is a time of intention setting. So this is something that you can visit throughout the rest of the lunation cycle. We'll do another ceremony on the full moon in a couple weeks, but I'm going to draw a card. So be thinking if you have a question that you want to message about, or if there's just anything at all that you would like a message. This is my elemental earth deck, and so I draw cards a really weird way. If you're wondering, I just kind of shuffle them until one of them usually pops out or jumps. So just be thinking if you have a question. If not, you can just let a message come. Oops. And then I got the river card, movement. And so if you think about a river is not forceful. A river is just kind of like carves its way, right? A river moves at a pace that is natural. And so, yeah, you'll maybe reflect on this card for your own answers, but it's river and movement. So again, I'm going to hope that we all move towards pleasure this month, that's the practices that we do. Again, that water is that yin restorative element. So I'll let you take that in. So close your eyes, bring your hands to your heart. As I draw my hands to my heart, I honor each one of you for your courage to speak, for your courage to show up, for your authenticity, for the place that you hold in this community. Whether you're a new member or you've been gathering with us, like, you matter, you have a place, you're worthy to be here, and your presence is felt and acknowledged and deeply, deeply honored and respected. So thank you so much, each one of you, for taking time to build this community, because this community is you. You are this, and I so appreciate and honor this community. So namaste, dear friends.